What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are setting up my 2021 bullet journal, and this year I'm using a moleskin dotted journal. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So opening the journal up, I was not a huge fan of the journal's opening page, so I decided to cover it up. I was heavily inspired by a plant-based bride. You may have seen her videos on YouTube, so I decided to incorporate some of that spread into my own journal. And then like her, I also decided to include the quote day 1 of page 365 because the new year gives us the opportunity to start over, and it's almost like starting a new book, which we technically are by starting a new journal. Moving on, I decided to skip this next page. It honestly reminds me of the last piece of bread on the loaf, and I hate how it's not folded correctly, so I just always skip it. So moving forward, we have my grid spacing chart and then my table of contents. I wasn't planning on putting a table of contents in, but I had a blank page with the grid only taking up 1/2, and I decided to fill it with that, something kind of meaningless but not meaningless. I'm not sure if I'll use it too much. I didn't include one last year, but I thought I could give it a try. So throughout this video, you're going to notice that I decided to stick with maroons and browns and that ripped paper look. I also decided to stick with 2 of my favorite fonts for my opening. As you can see, I use very generic cursive, and then I also decided to stick with a tall and thin kind of print, and you're going to notice that throughout the entire video. And then on this page, I also decided to use the washi tape that I received in the Erin Condren Winter Surprise box. And if you wanted to see what came in that box, I have a video posted that on my channel, and I'll definitely link that down below. Okay, so now we're actually getting into the official bullet journal stuff. And I always like to open with a quote about new beginnings, which normally I always find inspirational quotes kind of tacky, but I let them slide when it comes to bullet journals. So this year I chose a quote from JP Morgan, which reads, "The first step towards getting somewhere is to decide you're not going to stay where you are." And then I always struggle with the best way to write out 2021, but I decided to stick with the brown paper and just write the numbers on their own piece and then just glue them in. Moving on to the future log, I decided to incorporate the brown and maroon paper once again, but for next year I am definitely buying the calendar stickers because handwriting out 12 months took forever, and I definitely lost motivation afterwards. But now we're moving on to my library portion. If you saw my last video, you know that for the new year I definitely want to read more, so I thought a good way for me to get motivated to do that would be to track the books I've read so I can see my progress. That's just what I'm doing here. So in going along with 2021, I decided to come up with 21 goals for this year, and I thought including them in my bullet journal would make sure that I did not forget any of them and would make me more inclined to work on them. And then the last section that I like to start my bullet journals with is a page to include a picture for each month. I did the same setup last year and I really liked how it looked, and I think it's a great way to track all of the important memories. So I don't have a Polaroid camera, but I do have an HP sprocket. So those are the photos that I use in this spread. I think it's really nice that I can print a photo from my camera roll, which is something that lacks with a Polaroid camera because you have to take it in the moment. You kind of only get one shot. And then I also run the risk of not having it on me at the time. So I like using the sprocket because I can use any photo from any time. And then finally, here is a final flip through of all the pages that I completed today. If you like this video, you should definitely like, comment, and subscribe. And then you should also turn on the bell notification so you're always notified of when I post. Now that Vlogmas is coming to an end, I have a great idea for a bunch of planner related videos. So if that's something you're interested in, you should definitely subscribe. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and then stay tuned for next time because there will always be more. Bye!